What's up, motherfuckers? And welcome to the first episode of Eli Talks. Shout out to Fernando for the title, for the name. This is not gonna be like a podcast. This is not gonna be. Well, I mean, it isn't like it is kind of like a podcast in the sense of like I'm sitting and chatting, right? But now we're like every Monday I'm gonna post, every Friday I'm gonna post. Like there's not gonna be a set schedule like that. No, whenever this is just for me. If I need to talk, if I feel like me tengo que desahogar or something, this is for me to just sit down and chat it up. Just let it out. You know what I mean? If you have not seen my TikTok video, I said I want to start this mainly because two things. I am a mother now. I know, me, a mom. Crazy. Two, I got diagnosed with cancer. And right here's where I just want to talk about everything and anything. And I'm not saying like these episodes are just gonna be about being a mother and cancer. It's gonna be of whatever I want to talk about. Oremos. So yeah, for today's episode, we are going to be talking about being a first-time mom, my journey so far, and like my birth experience, my pregnancy experience, everything has to do with being pregnant. My story. This is my story, okay? And then the second episode is going to be about the cancer because the pregnancy kind of leads up to the cancer. So yeah, plus I want to talk about the pregnancy too, so I have to talk about it first because pregnancy is what happened first before the cancer. ¿Saben qué me la pelan? Let me go get a glass of water because with all this sneezing and all this shit, se me está secando el hocico, la neta. I need to go get a chapstick, dry lips, and then a little lip gloss, and then some water. Let me go do that. Okay, and I'm back. Dude, esta tos tampoco no me deja. Okay, so like I said, today's episode is going to be about being a first-time mom, being a mommy, a mamacita. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Elizabeth. I am 27 years old. I'm a Leo. I gave birth to a beautiful baby boy 3 months ago. Okay, so let me tell you my journey. This is my experience. This is my story. Okay, so where do I begin? Right, getting pregnant. Literally, I was pregnant the whole last year, bruh. Felt like the whole year. So I found out I was pregnant February, okay, of 2025, of course. February 6th to be exact. I already kind of knew low-key, high-key, because like me and my baby father, we were like trying but not trying, as in like we weren't using protection, and like we knew we were doing. So like we knew if we wanted a kid, we knew like if we got pregnant, it wasn't gonna be like, oh my god, we're pregnant, right? Just FYI, it took us 2 years and some change to get pregnant. Okay, for 2 years we were not using protection. Okay, so February, right, took a test with my sister. Boom, I was pregnant. Obviously I was still very shocked seeing the pregnancy test because like hello, it's so weird seeing like it being confirmed, that we're pregnant. It's crazy. Okay, so when I went to my first appointment, I was already 9 weeks. So I was pretty deep in, People say like they find out when they're like 3 weeks, Not me. I was already 9 weeks. It's because I already knew, I'm telling you, my period was late. My period has never been late. All of the above. Like I already knew these little signs were like, okay, girl, you're pregnant. But like I said, I was okay with it. So I feel like there's not too much to say about like when to talk about like when I found out I was pregnant, because like it was a shock but not like a because we knew what we were doing and we wanted this. Okay, moving on. Just because then I could blab on for days, bro, for days. Okay, so then what next? Okay, my pregnancy. Let's see. The first is a semester, trimester. The first trimester. I need to look this up. Is that how you say it, girl? How am I a mom, bruh? So the first trimester, oof, girl, let me tell you, I felt like this is it. This is it for me. Like me, it was more like mentally. Mentally, I was like, I couldn't contain myself, bro. My anxiety was off the roof. I couldn't. I would feel nauseous here and there. And I think that's why my anxiety was off the roof, because like you feel what I felt, right? Let me talk about me. This is my story. I felt super nauseous. And one thing about me, I hate throwing up. I hate throwing up. I hate it. I hate it. So my trimester was like the most challenging, and from what I hear from others, from mothers actually, I think I feel like 9 out of 10, the first trimester is like the hardest, right? But yeah, mine was mentally. I couldn't. It was. I felt like I was losing my mind. I felt like I was never gonna get over the first trimester. It's crazy. Second trimester was a bit better. Third trimester, I was like, give me all the food, bro. Give me all the food. Big back, bro. So like, I wouldn't say my pregnancy wasn't like super bad, because like, thank God I wasn't throwing up like all 9 months. Because I know, people, not people, women, they, throughout the whole pregnancy, they're like throwing up. Like, that's crazy. I would have for sure lost my, yeah, that was me. And honestly, I probably wouldn't want another baby if that was me, because I hate throwing up. I hate it. Oh, I mean, I guess something else I experienced in my pregnancy, low iron, but it was nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. They just gave me pills I had to take. It wasn't like, oh, we need to keep checking you. Like, it was nothing crazy. Let's see what else. Oh, when I did the glucose test, it was not bad at all. I was scared because women would say like they would throw up, but to me, it literally felt like a Fanta. Well, I drank the orange one. I know it's probably different wherever you're from, but I got the orange flavor, and it literally tasted like a Fanta. Let's say it was not bad. So now the birth part. So my due date was September 29. But because I was not dilating, none of that. I think it was just because I wasn't dilating, because he was face down, like he was ready to come out. He was like ready to go. I think it's just because I wasn't dilating, and two, because I forgot what the condition was called, but like for a moment, like towards the end of my pregnancy, I guess this, you see, I'm forgetting. I guess it's something else I went through during my pregnancy. My palms and like the bottom of my feet would get like super itchy, and I forgot what the condition was called, but basically they said that could cause a excuse me, that can cause a stillbirth. My God, when I heard that, I was like, get him out. The hell? I forgot what the condition was, but really like itchy palms, and really itchy at the bottom of my feet, like super itchy, to the point where I was like it was crazy itchy. So that's why they scheduled me for a C-section like literally a week before my due date, because of that reason. Yeah. Oh my God, I totally forgot about that. Oh my God, dude, I'm all over the place. Okay, I go in September 22nd. Yeah, I go in September 22nd, a Monday, to get checked in, for what I thought was like gonna be straight to like C-section, get them out, right? But no, I guess they wanted to see if I would like dilate and stuff like that, because the time I got checked twice before going before giving birth. I got checked twice, and I was 0.5 centimeters. Y ahí me quedé, okay, ahí me quedé. So I went in, right, and I guess they wanted to try to get me to dilate on my own, okay. On my own didn't work. They put in these pelotas. Those pelotas hurt. I don't know what the hell. I think it's just because it really helps you dilate. But goddamn. But for the longest, I was 0.5 centimeters, 0.5 centimeters, 0.5 centimeters, 0.5 centimeters. My body was not budging at all. I was getting contractions. Y nada. Nothing. That my son was like, okay, like I'm not ready to come out the book. So then they tried those pelotas, fucking her. I got the epidural. I don't give a fuck. I got the epidural. And I was chilling because as soon as those white pelotas were doing their thing, they look like little water balloons. Once they started going into effect, doing their thing, I was like, give me the epidural ASAP. For me, the epidural, I was scared because, they say like if it's done wrong, like you could get like paralyzed and stuff. But it didn't hurt me. It was quick. The doctor who did it, he was like big old chilling. Like, obviously he does that every day. I mean, that's his specialty. And he was having a conversation with my nurse, and like he was saying how like he's just there to work and like make his money and get. And I was like, okay. And he did it quick. It was quick. It went into effect ASAP. I've heard stories where like the epidural fails. Not mine, thank the Lord. And I was numb. I didn't feel anything at all. I was 0.5 centimeters, and then they came to take out those pelotas, and I went up to 5 centimeters, but just because the pelotas helped me, because after that I stayed at 5 centimeters. My body was not budging at all. They gave me Pitocin. First, before Pitocin, they gave me some other type of medication. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a really tiny pill, and they cut it up in 4s. I forgot what it's called, honestly. I'm not gonna stress myself out trying to think about the name. So they did that. Nothing. Then they gave me Pitocin, and they were just upping the Pitocin, upping up. And they came to pop my water. And my son was not budging at all. I was in the hospital Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday in the morning, September 24th. The nurses came to talk to me and stuff like that. And they're saying like, we're not doing C-section just yet, but we're just letting you know you could potentially go into a C-section by today because he's not coming. Your water's popped. You have about, I think they said 2 to 4 hours before you start getting an infection down there because, air is flowing now that your water's popped and stuff like that. Immediately that I was like, well, get him out. Like, I don't want him to get no infection, none of that. And then my nurses, obviously, which I wanted to for myself, to have him a vaginal birth, but that was not the case, right? And it was up to me. It was my choice. I told them, let's do a C-section. Dude, I was so scared in the moment. I called my sister at like 3 a.m, and I was like, I think I'm going for a C-section. And I like explained the situation and stuff like that. She's like, well, listen to your gut. Go with your intuition. Is that the word? Whatever you think is right, go for it. And I swear the whole time my nurses were getting everything ready for the C-section, they kept telling me, are you sure you don't want to wait? Like, you don't want to wait. And it's crazy because like I would talk to Anthony, my baby father, and tell him like, what do you think? And he would tell me like, it's up to you, like however your body feels. And like at this point, I was on day 3. My body was tired, like tired. I was tired. And he's like, whatever you think it's best. Like, if you feel like C-section is the best, well, like, let's do it. And I was like, oh. So I told my nurse, I was like, okay, let's do C-section. And my nurses, like I said, they wanted me to do vaginal birth. And when they were getting everything ready for like a split second, because throughout them getting everything ready, they kept telling me like, are you sure? And for like a split second, I was about to say like, let's wait to see if I dilate, because I was 5 centimeters. I was not going anywhere. my baby was like 5 centimeters. This is it. I don't care. Okay, boom. That split second, I almost said, "Fine, let's wait," but I did it. And thankfully, I did it. So, um, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? So, boom, right? They get everything ready, getting me ready. I gotta take out my piercings and everything. We go to the OR. It's crazy, bro. The experience in the OR. I already had the epidural, but then they had to give me, what is it called? An anesthetic? Is that what it's called? Dude, how am I someone's mother? Like, what? But basically, where they numb your body, okay? And because the doctor was pinching me and he's like, "Can you feel this?" And I was like, "Hell yeah." Because I was like, "Are they just gonna leave me with the epidural? Like, that's crazy." Like, no, I could feel it. Like, imagine they left me just with the epidural and like they opened me up. No, I was like, yeah, I could feel it. So that's why they hit me again in the back, where they literally numbed from like right here all the way down. Craziest experience ever. I went into the OR expecting something else, and I was in there and I was like, I started panicking. I remember even telling the nurses like I don't want to worry anybody, but like I'm starting to panic. Like I feel like I can't breathe. To me, the way I was breathing in there after they hit me with that shot, where like my whole body from like literally my neck down, once it hit me, the way I was breathing was like this. Literally, that's how I was breathing to me. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not getting enough oxygen. I started freaking out. And I'm telling you, that doctor who gave me he's the same one who did the epidural. He got my face and he's like, "Elizabeth, calm down. You're just freaking out. You're fine." And I was like, "I don't know. I feel like I can't breathe." He's like, "Do you want a mask?" And I was like, why are you yelling at me, sir? Like, it's my first time. And I was like, he's like, "You want an oxygen mask?" He's like, "Will that make you feel better?" And I was like, "Motherfucker," I was like, "You're lucky I can't move." And I was like, "Yes." I was like, "I want an oxygen mask." And honestly, that helped me a little bit. But even then, I was like, dude, why can't I breathe? That experience, it was scary. And then just the thought that like I was just laying on a table and like my stomach was like wide open. Obviously, you don't feel anything. You don't feel anything. You don't feel anything. I just felt pressure. I felt like my body was just getting moved around. Yeah, you don't feel anything. But holy damn, a C-section. Once my son was born, like I didn't even cry. To me, I swore I was crying. I swore I was bawling my eyes out. But I was just so out of it because like I was freaking out that like I couldn't breathe. I was dead ass open on a table. When they gave me my son, I just like out of it. I'll insert pictures and videos of like things that I talk about if I need to put pictures and videos. I was out of it, honestly. I was out of it. Obviously, I remember everything, but I was out of it in the moment. And you could just tell in the pictures and the videos. But I remember hearing my son cry. Beautiful thing ever. You're for sure gonna be able to tell this is my first video because it's gonna be all over the place. My camera just died, and I have another battery. But the thing is, I don't think I have any more memory, more space. I think I only had like a minute left to record. Now we're on my iPhone. Okay, where was I? On the OR table. They closed me up, took me out. Well, I don't know if I want to add this here. I guess I should because it was part of my labor. So, little rewind, little backup. Before they closed me up, my doctor in the moment goes, "Hey Elizabeth, do you know you have two cysts on your left ovary?" And me, instantly, I was like, "Yes." And he's like, "You do?" And for a second, I think I said yes because when I was 20 weeks pregnant, um, I went to go see a specialist because something about like my cervix being too close to my placenta, and if it didn't move, like Then we would have to do C-section and all that. You see, it's all over the place because I forgot to say that during my pregnancy. But I guess I'm saying it now and it ties up with the story. So when I want to go see a specialist because of that, my cervix being too close to the placenta, and like it was for sure gonna have to be a C-section because if it doesn't detach, like doing vaginal birth is very dangerous because I could bleed out, this and that. But when I during that appointment, the doctor seen I had a cyst, but she's like, it's very very small. It's like 0.001 centimeters. She said it was like super tiny. She's like, it should go away. So I think because I was out of it, I just told the doctor that I was aware that I had two cysts on my left ovary. And when he said, you did? Because he sounded confused, kind of like, you did? And like, how come you didn't say anything? I was like, oh, wait. I was like, two cysts on my left ovary? I was like, no, I didn't. And he's like, would you like for me to remove them? And I was like, hell yeah. I was like, yes. And I was like, y'all ain't gonna see me on this table again, open up like this. I was like, get them out. I don't want to have to come back, to have a surgery for them to remove them. I was like, hell no. I was like, yeah. I was like, get rid of them, please. So he removed them and stuff like that. And he closed me back up. He was all done and all that. And then as he was leaving, he's like, all right. He's like, we're all done here. You have any questions for me? And I was on the table and I was like, just only able to do this motion right here. And I was like, no. I was like, get me out of here, bro. He's like, okay. He's like, those two cysts I found. He's like, I'm gonna take he's like, one is just like a regular cyst, and the other one, I'm gonna send it into the labs because it has hair, it has teeth, it has white germ cells, it has bones. It was growing all these sorts of weird things, right? And then he left, right? And then my nurses, like, they were done picking up or whatever. And one of my nurses came and she's like, would you like to see the cyst? And I was like, sure. She's like, you're not squirmish? I think that's the word she used. Basically, like, no te va a dar asco? And I was like, no. And they had it in a bucket, in a regular white bucket. And she showed it to me and I was like, oh, damn. Oh, damn. It was a cyst this small. And the other cyst was like, maybe like about that big, I would say. And the big one is the one that he sent to get tested. And I won't say anything else after that because that would be for episode 2. Okay. So then whatever I seen it, I was like, oh, that was inside of me. That's So then he closed me up. Oh wait, there I was already closed by then. So then they moved me to that moving bed or whatever, and they took me out, and then they keep you in a room, like right outside the ER for like an hour just to make sure OR, just to make sure, I guess, everything's good and stuff like that. Once I was out there, I started throwing up. Well, first of all, I was able to see my son, like for the first time, not being out of it, because obviously they brought him like here to me when I was on the table, but like I said, I was out of it. Like, I was so confused. I don't know what was going on. Like, they took us pictures and videos, and I was out of it when he was next to me. And like, to me, it's crazy because I look at videos, I look at pictures, and I thought I was talking to him when they brought him right here, but in the video it doesn't look, which I think is more like a live picture. It doesn't look like I'm talking to him, nothing. That's how much out of it I was. Um, so once they put me in that other room, I was able to like carrying him, and like my body was starting to like not be as numb anymore. Like I was breathing normally. Um, Amor? Oh hell no! It looked like someone was staring at me from the door. Anyways, um, he was. I had him right here and stuff like that, and out of nowhere, I was like, Amor, I think I'm about to throw up. And he's like, what? And I was like, I think I need to throw up. He goes to the nurse. I think she's gonna start throwing up. And while they rush over to me and stuff, and they give me like something to throw up in, oh my god, the pain I felt throwing up after a C-section. Yes, okay, my body was still a little numb from the anesthesia. Why? Is that how you say it, dude? I'm not pretty. I'm not smart. Um. So yeah, my body was still a little numb, and it was painful throwing up after that C-section. And the whole time I was throwing up, the nurse was obviously holding it for me. The whole time I was cussing. I was cussing. I don't know what I was saying, but I was cussing. Every time I was throwing up, I would be like, oh, fucking shit, it fucking hurts. Oh, motherfucker. Oh, fuck, oh, fuck. As I was throwing up because it was painful. Because, you know, when you throw up, your stomach does this motion right here. Oh, my God. It was all bad. It was all bad. And then, besides throwing up, I was also, like, super sweaty. Like hella sweaty. Like they thought I had a fever, a fever or something. Cause I was like dripping bullets. Like I was sweaty, 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 goofy, goofy. I was like sweating a lot, a lot, a lot. It was crazy. I guess that's why they keep you in that room for like an hour because I guess like the withdrawals of like how your body's gonna react after a C-section or whatever. My mom was able to come see Isaac. That's my baby boy's name, Isaac de Jesus Sanchez. I have not said his name, but that is his name. Isaac. I guess let me go into how we picked his name. Well, let me finish my little birth story. So we were there for an hour, whatever, chilling. My mom came. We were chilling there. Then after an hour, they moved us up to our room and stuff like that. And my sister was the first one to come. But because my mom and my vato were supposed to be in the delivering room, but because it ended up being a C-section, it was only my vato. So I guess my mom was the first one to see Isaac, and then my sister. We were in our room, and like I was out of it. I was out of it, as in like I was tired. I was super, 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 super tired because Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, like I wasn't able to sleep. I couldn't sleep. I would take naps here and there, but we all know how it is. They come in, they check on you, they move you around, they pican la cola. Like they check your cervix and so I was hella tired, like to the point where like I was like dozing off. It was crazy. How I chose my son's name, or how we chose my son's name. So we didn't have like a long ass list of names. Honestly, we didn't think about his name till like later on in the pregnancy. Um, and originally I wanted Lionel, like my dad, Lionel. Anthony really liked Jaime. I have an uncle named Jaime. That's my tío Jaime, bruh. So to name my son Jaime, I was like, no. And Anthony would tell me, well, that's your uncle. Is he gonna be our son? I'm like, yeah, but I grew up with my uncle. Like, no, that's my tío Jaime, bro. I'm not gonna name my son Jaime. I was like, no, that's off the table. And then he liked Ernesto, and I was like, that's a señor name. I was like, no. And then he liked, I forgot which other one he liked. And then I also liked Adriel, Asiel, one of those. It was one of those two. And then I also liked Emiliano. Emiliano was like my second one after Lionel. Emiliano was, I was like, I think it's gonna be Emiliano, bro. Like, but then I don't know where one night Anthony comes home from his mom's and he's like, what do you think about the name Isaac? And I was like, it's nice. I like it. I like it. I was like, let me think about it. Let me think about it. And literally that same night, as I was going to sleep, um, the name Isaac. Wait, it came to me in Spanish. Cause I like the name Isaac, cause Isaac and Isaac. I love the way it sounds in Spanish. Obviously in English too, but Isaac. I love the way it goes with his full name. Literally, it felt like a dream. But Isaac de Jesus Sanchez. De Jesus was never on the table. And I chose de Jesus because my mom is Maria de Jesus. And I was like, oh my God, de Jesus. Because I was like, if I ever have a girl, I'm sorry, mama. But I don't think I will name my daughter Maria. I don't think so. But I was like, de Jesus. I was like, if it's so perfect, like so perfect. I was like, Isaac de Jesus Sanchez. I was like, oh my God, that's it. That's his name. And I told Anthony the next day, I was like, what do you think about that? He's like, I like it. And I was like, period, that's his name. So that's his name. Isaac de Jesus Sanchez. He's named after my mama. And he was supposed to be named after my dad. Pero no se hizo así. Isaac de Jesus Sanchez. I love it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, yeah. I'm trying to think if I miss anything. This video is going to be all over the place. My apologies. With the birth, I don't think I missed anything else. You know, I don't think I did. My pregnancy journey. The biggest one. How did I forget this? Like I said, literally, I was pregnant all 2025. Okay. I was pregnant during the summer. I can't say never again will I do that because, like I said, I never thought about that. Getting pregnant, being pregnant during the summer. I never thought about that. I hate the heat. And when I was pregnant and the heat, oh, dude. If I can, for my next pregnancy, if I can prevent that from being pregnant again, literally the whole summer, and being big ass butt the whole summer, then I would. Because according to the calculations, I got pregnant like Christmas 2024 or whatever. That was the calculations my doctors gave me. I got pregnant around that time. You know, so it was already like the end of 2024. So I feel like I would have to get pregnant like during the summer to give birth, like earlier in the year, because being pregnant in the summer, oh hell no, not for me. But yeah, let me see. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? I mean, I guess after once we were in our room or whatever, oh my God, when they come to check on you, in like in the room to come make sure like your C-section is like okay and everything. There was this one time when like they pressed on my stomach. Oh my God, it was painful. Using the restroom after a C-section. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. It hurts. It's painful. It's painful. They would give me like stool softeners. I couldn't use the restroom. It was just like a lot of farting, but even farting was painful. When I was able to use the restroom after being home, I think like the third day or something, when I was able to use the restroom, oh, I felt so relieved. We were excited to leave the hospital because we were literally there for a whole week. We were literally there from Monday to Friday. Literally. Yeah, we were excited to leave. Yeah. Being home for the first time with the baby, it was like so surreal. It was so like, whoa. It's crazy, you know? It's crazy. Now we are 3 months, about to be 4 months into motherhood or whatever. And I got diagnosed with cancer. But we will leave that for the next episode or whatever. Because Lord knows how long this episode is going to be. And how all over the place it's going to be. So bear with me. Okay. So anyways, that's it. See ya, motherfuckers. Ay, ni tengo reloj, pendeja.